Hello and welcome back to my talk show, if you will. Today we'll be running through my Sunday predictions um, for the NFL Week 9, what I think will happen in each game, and how I think it will happen. The first game we will discuss is the Cowboys versus the Falcons. Now, the Falcons come into this as 3-point favorites, the over-under at 48 points, but I don't think that's accurate. I think even though they're 3-4 and are not been great this season, I think the Cowboys win this one against the Falcons. I think they go to Atlanta and I think they win to be 4-4, start to pick up their year a little bit. I don't think they'll be a good team, but I also don't think the Falcons are a good team. And I understand the Falcons have been good, but if we look at the teams they beat, I mean they're not beating great teams. Yes, they beat the Eagles, but we look at some of their other victories. They beat the Panthers. They beat the Bucks twice, and the Bucks have been on a downhill. They beat the downhill Saints. Started 2-0 since are 0-6. Um, like I said, they already played the Bucks twice and beat them twice. And the Bucks currently sit at 4-4, and were like the Bucks were, and for reference of what they were, the Bucks. Hold on, the Bucks set 4-4, but the Bucks were 4-2, so like they're on a decline too, just like them. And they were actually at one point the Bucks were actually they were really bad at one point. But I just think Dallas has the tools to beat them in this game, and I don't think the Falcons will be like that good of a team in this game. I don't think it will be a blowout, but I just don't think they have the tools to go up against a team like Dallas and win. So my first prediction is Dallas to win. Next game, this is just a really easy one. I'll still talk about it a little bit, but it's the Broncos versus the Ravens. Yes, the Broncos have the same record as the Ravens, 5-3, but I still don't think they stand a chance. If we look at their strength of schedule, like we just did with the Bucks, the teams they beat in October. They beat the Saints on the decline. They beat the Panthers. They lost to the Chargers. They beat the Raiders, and their other win was against the Bucks. Which yes, that's a semi decent win. At the end of the day, they're just not a good team. They lost to the Chargers. They lost to the they wait hold on. They lost to the Seahawks. They lost to the Steelers. They're just not that great of a team. They barely beat the 2-6 Jets. 3-6 Jets. I'm sorry, I forgot they won. But at the end of the day, this game's not gonna be close. The Ravens are gonna pull out this one in a landslide. The spread's 9.5. I would take the Ravens on that all day. Bless me. So my prediction is the Ravens to win by 10 or more points. And next game, a little bit of a rivalry matchup. The 2-5 Dolphins face the 6-2 Bills. Now, Tua Tagovailoa is playing, and honestly, the Bills are very good. They're 6-2. I'm not saying they're a bad team, but from what we've seen from the Bills this season, and what this game is set at, I think Miami could win this football game. Yes, that's gonna be my prediction. I'm gonna take Miami to win the football game and be the biggest upset of the 1 o'clock slate. I think the Bills are a good team. I don't think they're a great team. I think Miami's gonna put up a really good fight. Tua's gonna be pretty good. I think Tyreek scores at least once, probably twice. I think A-Chain gets in there, and I just think the Dolphins are gonna put up a lot of points. So there's a certain point where it's like, yes, I think the Bills are a good team, but I just think the Dolphins are just going to rack up points. I don't think the Bills will be able to respond to all their scores, so therefore I have to pick the Dolphins to win because I just don't think they're as fast-paced of a team as the Dolphins are, so the Dolphins are going to win that game. And here we have our game of the week. The 2-6 Saints travel to take on the 1-7 Panthers. The Saints are favored by 7 points, and I have the Panthers. Now let me explain why. The Saints started the season 2-0, and like you just heard, they're now 2-6. They are a terrible football team. The Panthers have Andy Dalton, who's not great, but he got in his starts. He's like 1-2 and got them their first win of the season. They're 1-7. I don't think they're a good team, but unless we see some tanking shenanigans, like the thing where they're so bad, they know they suck, so they're just going for a draft prospect. Unless they're like doing that, then I think they actually will win this game, and I think it will be a close game. I think it will be like 7-10, 7-3, 10-3. Like, it's gonna be a boring game. would not tune in. Will not tune in. Just don't watch this game altogether. Avoid this game on the slate. I mean, Panthers, I guess, but really not that big of a deal to watch that game. Next, we have the 2-6 Raiders versus the 3-5 Bengals. Now, coming into the season, if you showed me a Raiders versus Bengals game, I would say Bengals in a heartbeat. But today, as we stand, the Eagles just blew out the Bengals, taking away all their confidence. The Raiders, they did not win last week, I don't think. Let me just refresh my memory. I think it was a close game though. Yes, they only lost the Chiefs by 7, and they came off a pretty good week. That was a good week. I'm still gonna take the Bengals, but I just think this game has transformed into a lot more of like this game at the beginning of the year. It beat Bengals in a heartbeat. Now it's like, well, the Raiders could win this game. It's not that far fetched to predict the Raiders to win this game, but I just don't think they will win the game. Like I don't think you're crazy if you say they will. I don't think that's like a crazy hot take, but I don't think they will. Next, we have Chargers versus Browns. The Chargers are such a weird team because they're 4-3, but I feel like they've flown under the radar pretty well. I feel like not many people have thought about the Chargers like a 4-3 team. It's kind of like the Golden State Warriors right now, but they're 4-1 in the Western Conference. But no one's really looking at them. No one's worried about them. And that's kind of what the Chargers are. No one's like, oh, the Chargers are contending for playoffs or contending for Super Bowl, except maybe Chargers fans, because they're not that good of a team. Yes, they have a positive record, and yes, they will. And I say will. I would bet all my money on this, beat the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are a terrible football team. They can't work together. They have a bad starting QB now that Deshaun's out. They're going to not win this game, and LAC's only favored by 1.5 points. This is a free spread for me. Not only spread, LAC's going to dominate this game. They're going to blow them out, and I just surely hope they do because I hate the Browns so much. Next game, Washington versus New York. Not the good New York, the bad New York, the Giants New York. And the other New York's not good either, but the Jets would put up more of a fight. Washington's favored by 4. This is a line I absolutely love. We know Daniels is playing. That's not a question. Yes, he's active. Brian Robinson's questionable with the hamstring injury, but other than that, going down the list, everyone's active. I don't understand why this line's so low. Washington's coming off of their biggest win practically ever. They're not that good. Unless they won a Super Bowl once all those years ago, so not ever. But they came off a Hail Mary win, a 40-30 win, a 34-13 win. They're a great team, and the Giants are not a great team. Let's just leave it at that. The Commanders are going to dominate this game. I love the Commanders on the -4, and yes, I mean that's all. Next, New England versus Tennessee. The battle of a coughing baby versus a hydronic bomb. No one's going to win this game. This game's going to end in a 0-0 tie through overtime and all because I don't know why these two teams have to face off. I don't want to make a prediction here because whatever I say, it's got to be wrong because that's just how it's going to go. Like, if I have a perfect slate, then this game's going to mess it up, because it's a 2-6 Patriots versus 1-6 Titans. I guess if I had to pick, I'd pick the Titans because I feel like they're better rounded. No, actually, you know what? I'd pick the Patriots. They have a veteran quarterback, and they have a veteran and a rookie at quarterback if May plays. May's a really good quarterback. So is Brissett, and I actually think the Patriots have a chance at taking this one. Now, will I be watching this game? No. But do I think the Patriots will win this game? Yes. That is it for the 1 o'clock slate. That takes us into the 4 o'clock slate, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4 games at 4 o'clock to discuss. Let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles because I want to start with them. The Eagles are staying at home to face the 2-6 Jaguars. So, interesting fact about this game. This game is at 4:05 p.m., obviously as scheduled, but it was originally scheduled to be the primetime game for this week for Sunday Night Football. Waiting all day for Sunday night. But since the Jaguars have been so bad this year, underperforming so much, it got flexed to 4:05. Flex meaning moved. So, I mean, the Eagles are favored by 7.5. I never think the Eagles should be favored that much. I think they might win by it, but I never think we should be favored that much. So, I would never take the Jags on the spread because I'm an Eagles fan. But I do think the Eagles have an easy win here. And obviously, I could be wrong and we could lose this game. I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if we did because at the end of the day, we are the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what we do. But I have faith in the team, so that's probably bad sign number 1, but we'll see. I think we dominate this game, and I just keep talking. I gotta move on because I don't want to say too much and then have to bring this up in the post game stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want to say too much. So let's move on to the next game. Uh, the next game would be the Bears vs. Cardinals. Bears coming out one of the most heartbreaking losses. Cardinals coming off, I believe, a loss too. Let's just verify. No, they beat the Dolphins 28-27. For that reason, it's Cardinals. The Bears are depressed right now. They can't believe they lost that game. That's why the Cardinals are going to win. That's why I got Trey McBride to score 2 tutties. And that's why the Cardinals are going to come out here and smoke them. That's all I got to say for that game. Then we got Rams Seahawks. That's an easy one for me. Give me the Rams. I know the Seahawks are good. They just got crushed, down, dirty, beaten, bloody by the Bills. It was 31-10. It was terrible. They got beaten and bruised. And the Rams are coming off a win against the Vikings, who are very good this year. So for that reason, I'm all in on Seahawks to lose this game. I'm picking the Rams. I don't know why I said Seahawks. I mean, whatever. Next, we have Detroit Green Bay.